Alright guys, so Wizkid Made in Lagos album is currently the longest charting African album on the Billboard World Album chart. It has spent I think around 163 weeks on that chart. Insane if you ask me. It's crazy, it's great. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like Wizkid went crazy with that album. Probably his best album yet. It's not even probably. That's undoubtedly his best album yet. None of Wizkid album is touching Made in Lagos, I'm not even gonna lie. So yeah, that's his best album yet, and I feel like that album is in that conversation of the best African album of all time, or the best album to ever be made by an African artist. It's in that conversation. Now I'm unsure because I got to chip in other albums in that conversation also. The likes of Burna Boy's Twice as Tall should be in that conversation. African Giant, I feel like African Giant should also be in that conversation. Not to chip in Timeless in there though, but I feel like it's probably between Made in Lagos and African Giant. So between these two albums, I don't know which is going to take number one. But yeah, these two albums are great, two solid albums. Those albums are still out there, like doing great till date. Honestly, both artists went crazy. Even David also went crazy on Timeless. Timeless probably David's best album yet also. As for Burna, it's hard to tell which albums is his best so far, because he dropped I think around 3. All his albums are good, but Burna Boy is an album artist. But yeah, like I said, Wizkid Made in Lagos album is currently the longest charting African album on the Billboard World Album chart. It has spent 163 weeks so far. Amazing stuff, crazy stuff. Someone went to. I'm trying to read comments, and someone asked Grok, the longest charting African album on the Billboard World Album chart history is started for how many weeks? Grok literally said the same thing. 163 weeks. Wizkid Made in Lagos holds the record as the longest charting African album on the Billboard World Album. This person is probably a hater. Now the person also asked, are you saying no other African album has spent more than 163 weeks? Bro, like, you know, okay, let me see. Are you saying no other African album has spent more than 163 weeks on the chart? One word reply, please. I think Grok ignored him this time around. But yeah, bro, I feel like it's Wiz. So why is the person asking Grok so many questions? The person is sounding like a hater, but like at the end of the day, he sounded like it seems actually a Wizkid fan. He said greatest to ever do it in Africa, no cap. So it's probably a Wizkid fan who just wanted to confirm. But yeah, Wizkid is crazy, bro. I feel like he's undoubtedly the biggest. Wizkid is probably the biggest African artist of all time. If we're going by album sales, if we're going by numbers, it's Wizkid. I think Wizkid has around 20 billion so far. That's his total. I feel like his total career streams. It's around 20 billion. I think Burna is around 17. David is around 9. Rema is around 12, if I'm not mistaken, 12 or 11. So Wizkid is topping that chart. Wizkid is actually number one, and I feel like he's also sold more units. He's also sold more units than any other. Maybe Burna, I don't know. Burna is in that. It's tight. I feel like in that one is. I'll still give it to Wiz. Then when it comes to venues, it's the venues is actually debatable. If we're talking about who has done more venues in terms of quantity, it's probably between Wiz and David. And if we're talking about who has done the bigger venues, it's obviously Burna Boy. Burna Boy has done about 3 stadium shows. And Wizkid also, I think Wizkid did one, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. David is here to do a stadium show. So if we're going by who has done the most, it's debatable. I think it's between Wiz and David. Who has done the biggest? It's Burna Boy, Wizkid, David. So overall, I might just give. Not even I might. Wizkid is probably the biggest African artist of all time at this point. That might change because these artists are still active. They're still putting in the work. So in the future, it might change. But for now, Wizkid holds the crown. So yeah, crazy stuff. So once again, Made in Lagos is is currently the longest charting African album on the Billboard World Albums chart. So y'all show some love to my channel, subscribe, and leave your comments down below. Y'all stay tuned, y'all stay blessed. Boom, boom, clear.